I'm Carlos, this is a Whiss, and I'm the accidental chef, and I'm gonna be your chef tonight. We're making popovers with a lobster sauce, yum, and we're making asparagus, more yum, and we're gonna make a wedge salad tonight. Everybody loves to eat a wedge salad, and it's not hard to make, so I'm gonna attempt to make us all one tonight. So, this is how the plan works. I do all the cooking. You have questions, you stop me at any juncture to answer the questions. Everyone should have been given a recipe if you want to follow. If you're an educator, stop me if I forget something. I'm okay with that because I usually get going and I don't do that. So the first thing we're going to do tonight is make popovers. This is a popover pan. It's kind of cone shaped, or as we would say, cyclonic. So the real secret to making popovers is that you heat the pans first before you put the batter in there. So I'm just going to stick this in a 350-degree oven that's been preheated. While we make our batter. The batter for popovers is real nice. It's kind of like, it reminds me mostly of like a batter you would make for crepes, very eggy. We're gonna use 8 eggs. I'm gonna warm the milk just slightly. Move my lettuce over here. Danny reminded me last time that I set something on fire. You know, I'm the accidental chef, so if something catches fire, it's part of the presentation. Do not get alarmed. Do not pull the fire alarm. We have it under control, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add 8 eggs, and I'm gonna beat them. He's my oldest son, my son the doctor. And he's a gourmet chef, and I had bought him a cookbook called Artisanal Cooking is what the cookbook is called. It's a wonderful cookbook if you want to do more highbrow cooking or haute cuisine. It's a really great book. The recipes are usually very simple. They're labor intensive, but they're quite simple. We made a recipe out of that to go with the steaks. We made Brussels sprouts with chestnuts and wild mushrooms. Very nice, very nice. Okay, not that it's hard to not make Brussels sprouts delicious, but they sliced them very thin and then sauteed them. It was the chestnuts. Okay, the honest truth about that is we couldn't find chestnuts because it's a little early for Johnny Mathis, and we used hazelnuts, which we cracked. And you poach the hazelnuts in shallots and fresh thyme, and then added that to the, very nice. Very thin. You know, it was interesting. It was tedious, but it was interesting. Okay, warm milk. It's just beginning to get a little film on the top, so it's achieved warm. 102, 103, okay, I would say is warm milk. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and do it in here. I'm just gonna stir this constantly so I don't cook my eggs. Keep it moving. Add my flour. Where's my whisk? And I think that's all there is in here. Maybe some salt. You can see there's plenty milk, plenty eggs, and plenty flour. Had this been a real kitchen, I would have put it in a mixing bowl. I'm praying that this will fit. All right. There we go. This will let me have better form too with my whisk. Just mixing my batter together. What they say, a teaspoon of salt, a grain of sand, 1.5 tablespoons. Not on your life. That's a lot. Okay, we're gonna say we did. All right. How's that looking? Nice and combined? I put a little more than a teaspoon. I put about 2 teaspoons, which is just short of 3 teaspoons is the tablespoon. Well, maybe I'll add a little more. Okay. All right. My good friends. I hope they come in to eat. There we go. Hey, hey. Just in the nick of time. All right. So I'm going to get these bad boys out of the oven. I'm going to spray them with Pam. Always be careful when you're spraying with Pam that you're over the surface, not over the floor, because you could go real flying real fast. And just a tip, there's no workman's comp at home, so if you go at home, you're on your own, okay? That's just a tip. All right? And if you've got one of those new insurance policies, you're probably just going to have to stay on the floor. All right. That's not a commentary, no. I'm just kind of listening. All right. How about that? Do they look like they sprayed? Good. Okay. I'm going to take about, I'm going to assume it's about 1/4 cup. That's about what I use in a cupcake. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 1/4 cup in each one and see where I'm at. Where you at, ya? When I'm finished, and I'm going to probably put a little more because I want those bad boys to just puff. I just want them. For those that just came in, I'm making popovers, okay? And I made this batter that has a lot of egg and a lot of milk and a lot of flour. Kind of likened it to a crepe recipe. All right. Ooh. I'm getting the bursitis in my fingers. All right. There we go. Where's the Matisses tonight? They traveling? They probably heard I was cooking. All right. All right. And now I'm going to add Gruyere cheese. Now, Gruyere is wonderful. It smells like your feet. But if you don't want to spend $20 a pound on Gruyere cheese, I have a rule in life. Never buy cheap cheese and never buy cheap garbage bags. So I always spend the money on the cheese because it really makes the difference. So if you don't want to spend the $20 a pound on the Gruyere, you can use Swiss, okay? Very close in flavor. We're going to add some cheese to each one of these bad boys. Okay? Swiss, very similar in taste in Swiss. You remember we made those puffs? Were y'all here the night we made those little French puffs? Gruyere. So that was good. It has Orion. what do you call that? Rind on the back, and I saw a recipe in that cookbook where you use those, you keep those in the freezer and you throw them in the soup. The rind or the heel or whatever it is. I threw it away just for the record. But it could be a very nice. All right. I'm sorry. The Gruyere. Yeah. Does it say that on there? You see, that's why I was worried about the salt too. It's Gruyere. Okay, I got that. Gruyere, they're from Gaydon, them. That's who those people are. His mama was a salesman. All right. You got that? Little cheese over there, no cheating, no cheesing. All right, now I'm gonna stick these bad boys back in the oven. I'm gonna bake them for 15 minutes at 350. Which is gonna activate the puff. Then I'm gonna turn them down to 180 and finish them at 180. It's just kinda, because it gets a real hard outside. That's the lower oven. Oh. But thank you for being observant.
Sorry.
It's okay. No, that's good. You're right, and I appreciate that. Because I hate it when I cook and can't eat. All right, now we got a little time. Any questions about the popovers? They are the most wonderful thing ever. I just love them. Y'all know how I love bread? I love them. Okay, speaking of bread, I was wandering in the bakery today and I found these. Not exactly what they call them, but they're like sesame breadsticks. So I'm just gonna put them in the oven for a few minutes and kind of freshen them up a little. Not for long, maybe 3 minutes, 4 minutes, just to get that, toast my sesame again and get the bread good, and then I'm gonna diagonal slice. So we each have a little crouton, croquette, whatever on our salad, all right? Good. Any questions about that? All right. Well, let's make the salad because we're not ready for the lobster sauce yet, but I'm gonna go ahead and dress the lobster while y'all are there. I found the lobster tails, just the tails, from the fishmonger in the fish department, in the seafood department. Got those. I've made a stock with white wine and bay leaf and onion. And I'm just gonna peel those and reserve the meat, and then I'm gonna strain the stock, because I'm gonna use the stock in there. In fact, I'm just gonna set this over here, and I'm just gonna strain it as I need it for my sauce, okay? So I don't have to go find something else, and then I can just dump it when I'm done. Or I could freeze it, okay? Or I could bathe with it, but anyway. All right. I don't know, I don't need to tell you how to do this, but let me show you a secret I did learn about lobster. But anyway, the best way is you cut along this with your scissors, and that opens up. So I'm just gonna do like I do my crawfish, and I'm gonna pop that baby right out of there, okay? There we go. That's it. From the Young Culinary Club. All right, I'm going to pull that little, you know what that is. Rinse that. If I was serving my guest, I would figure on these tails about 0.7. Meaning, if I'm serving 6 people, I'm gonna do 0.7, so I'm gonna need 4.5 lobster tails. Okay, so I have an appropriate amount of meat. Y'all follow what I'm saying? So, when you don't know how to figure how much meat to cook, all right? Okay, I think I'm about done with that. That was pretty easy, huh? I cooked them for 8 minutes. I followed the recipe on the paper. All right? Good Lord. It's like changing a baby. All right. There we go. ça. All right. Oops. Get that little last piece of, that's it. All right. Okay, any questions about the lobster? No? All right, fine then. I'm going to now, let's talk about the asparagus. Now, asparagus are very good, easy to cook, okay? The rule about asparagus is when you still get a good snap, it's about where you want to cut off the edge, okay? Mostly, another good rule of thumb is when it's fully green. There's no sort of white, okay? So I'm just going to do like that. I like to leave the rubber band on because it holds it together. Sometimes I like to put the rubber band on this end where I'm cutting. So when I do that, it stays right there and I just toss it, okay? Now, I could keep that if I wanted to make a nice vegetable stock. It would be very nice, okay? Any questions about the asparagus? All right. Y'all are good students tonight. No questions. Everybody's happy to be here. My poor mother would have to boil water to blanch them, but I'm going to blanch them in the microwave, okay? So, my microwave at home, maybe this one has it too, had a setting that said fresh vegetable. This one has one too, because it has a sensor, okay? So it's going to cook that till it's almost done, because then I'm just going to braise them in olive oil and
just like that.
balsamic. Nothing, yeah, just like that. It's gonna, it doesn't need any liquid because you don't want to add extra liquid, because the way the microwave works is that the microwaves go into the moisture inside of the food and cook it from the inside out. So if you add any moisture, it's got to deal with all that moisture or liquid inside the oven before it gets to the food. Okay? All right.
You're just going to throw them in the skillet, is that what you're saying?
No, actually, I'm just going to toss them real good, and I'm going to braise them in the oven with olive oil and balsamic vinegar and some crushed red pepper and some kosher salt. Comme ça? All right, good, good. We got some lobster meat ready to go. All right, well, let's make some salads. Y'all want some salads? Sure. Sure you do. Sure you do. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to slice these red onions very thin. Now, if I had the mouli, I would use it on this. But I'm just going to cut this very thin. Now, the secret to keeping your things even, when you're going down with your knife, kind of turn it in, because you have the natural, this is the natural flex of your wrist when you're pushing down, is to go out. So you have to be cognizant that you're coming in so that you stay even. So if you start at 1/8 at the end at the top, you finish at 1/8 of an inch at the bottom. Okay? Keep your fingers tucked in so that you can have them tomorrow. Okay. What's that noise? What's it saying? Does it give instructions? Sometimes it'll tell you to turn them. Food is ready. Thank you. Isn't that nice? Now, that's very al dente on that setting. So if you like your vegetables to cook a little more, then do that. But asparagus, you know, there's like 35 seconds between done and overdone. So you don't want to, you just kind of leave them as al dente as you want, because they're going to go in the oven for a few minutes to roast, and they'll do some more cooking in there. I do the same thing with flash frozen green beans. I bring the water to a boil, drop the beans in, and then take them out. Because they're cooking, they're gonna continue to cook, and I don't just, I'm not a big fan of that green bean that's, Cajuns have to cook it so long because they eat nothing green by mouth, so they have to make it gray so they don't think it's green, and that's how they eat. That's the only vegetable they'll eat besides corn. But anyway, that's another story for another time.
You're right.
That's it. And then all they say about the beans is, oh, I love the bacon. Sometimes they'll say, I don't eat that. I said, well, probably because you've never tasted it. Most people don't know the taste of something in its natural state. Thank you, Monsanto. Nothing in it. I mean, seriously, some flavor, everything is enhanced. We all have that citric acid response to everything. And if it's not there, it's not good, or, I'm so glad that accent gives me a headache. All right. The wedge salad is the only time that I ever use iceberg lettuce, because as a rule, iceberg is 97% water. It's a very light green in color, so the lighter the green, the less food value. So this one's way up there on nothing. So we gotta watch that, okay? All right, I'm done with that meat. Okay, I'm going to just kind of give this a tap on its base to kind of break it loose. Comme ça. I learned that me at a Tupperware party. Because we used to buy the lettuce holder for the Tupperware party, that's right. I mean, do they even have Tupperware anymore? Okay, here, I'm gonna give it another good slap and a twist. Okay, get rid of the brown. Help the produce manager keep his job. All right. All right. I didn't bring my lettuce knife, so I apologize in advance. There it is, the sweet tinkle. Right. Okay, let's take a look. Oh, isn't that wonderful, huh? I love popovers. Bake upper 180. Go. All right. Sheena, I think I'm going to need another head of lettuce. I don't know how many people you have. 12? 107? 19? Mon Dieu! All right. 1, 2, 3. How many I got there? 7, 5. 9, maybe 10. Let's just put that one right there. So I've got 10. So maybe I'll be okay. You said I had 19? Okay. All right. Okay. Beautiful. We making dessert tonight? No, huh? Dang. I thought I'd whip up some lemon squares. But, you know, you can't do everything. You got to, you know, budget.
That's right.
That's it. I have to just say there's no dessert because of Obama. No. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How many you said you wanted? 19. That includes you? She's nothing green by mouth. All right. All right. Okay. Y'all like that? So you just kind of, you just kind of play. All right? Put some onions on that. You want them real thin. I don't know if this is going to work, but I'm going to do my best. Too thick. It was too thick. I couldn't use it. All right. Any questions about the salad? Very easy. Easy sneezy.
We're going to the Charles Steakhouse in New Orleans.
In where? New Orleans? Uh-huh. There's this.
We used to do a wedge with wilted onions.
Oh, yum. Yum, because I still get it at Outback. They have a wedge salad at Outback. Okay, then I'm going to take crumpled blue cheese. Okay, this is our store bulk, and I'm going to sprinkle that on top of there. I don't know why the cheese is blue. I think it's mold, but I don't want to say that out loud. Didn't want anybody to get scared or feel like they had a case. You know, they served us cheese that wasn't fresh. I got some pain in my stomach. I'm gonna call William G. All right, there we go. It's being silly tonight, huh? I'm silly tonight. Hey, I'm trying for the WWF all welterweight, heavyweight fight and do a tag team cooking with Chef Nino next month. I've put the word out there. Have y'all got his cookbook?
Yes.
Oh, it's great. Yeah, everybody should pick up a copy. They probably have them at the register, huh? Oh, somewheres, Find him somewheres. It's great. The recipes are great. His stories are wonderful. I love Nino. So hopefully we'll be able to do some tag team cooking. We'll get Danny to capture it on film. So, put the challenge out there. I'm going to throw these bad boys in the 420. I have the convection on. I have a little pan with holes in it, you see? So that's going to give it some extra vent and allowing the bread to crisp up. All right? Since I have one timer, I'm going to go with my timer secondary. Go past 15 and back to 5. Okay? All right, we're gonna put a little kosher salt. Now don't freak out. It's coarse salt. Feel like I'm putting a lot. Where's Ann? She didn't make it tonight. All right, I'm gonna put a little crushed red pepper. Now the thing I love about crushed red pepper is that when it brings the heat, it brings it all at once. You know, if I use the ground, it's going to immerse itself in the whole flavor of what I'm cooking. But when you use the the flake, you get a bite and you get some real bang for your buck. Okay? All right. We got some, what's this? You know what I realized? I'm going to move this over here because this tray has holes in it too. All right. Do like my mother, put my finger over that. You remember when she used to iron and she put her finger on the Coke bottle and wet the clothes? Okay. It was back in the day. They don't even know what we're talking about. What's an iron?
That's right. You got that.
What you mean, an iron? Like steel? An iron. I don't know what that is. Extra virgin olive oil. You always want extra virgin because after extra virgin, you're not sure what you're getting. Okay? That's the rules. Okay, Sheena. You want to serve some salad? Okay, here we go, Sha. You ready? All right. That'd be great. Start in the back. Well, wait, let me get the little breads on there. Oh, yeah, boo. Just gonna give these a quick little slant cut. There we go, my boo. Okay, which one has bread? All right. I'm going to bring my asparagus from the microwave into the roasting pans. And I'm going to use almost the same thing I just used on the salad. Some coarse salt. Some crushed red pepper. Some balsamic vinegar. And some olive oil. If you see in a recipe it says EVOO, that means extra virgin olive oil, if you weren't sure. All right. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Mr. Botts, how was that salad? Good. All right. Okay. Just gonna toss that in the oven. They probably need to go about 10 or 12 minutes, but I'm gonna set my timer for 6 and check them and go from there, okay? All right. Bon. How about the little bread? Y'all like that?
It was very good.
Nice little surprise in the bakery. The olive oil has a very low viscosity. Can't use it in a roux because it doesn't get hot enough. So that's why I added the olive oil to that. I'm going to mince the shallots. Some people think shallots are the white part of the green onion. They're not. They're an entirely its own little vegetable. Looks like this, usually next to the bulk garlic. When I say bulk garlic, that means loose. And there might be a second one that's attached to it, so it's more singular. But when you open it up, it's got this flat side. All right? So I'm just mincing this. For the record, I've started the lobster sauce. Okay? In order for something to be minced, it needs to be less than 1/8 of an inch square. All right. I had my slap chopper, pop, 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 and it's done. That's a kitchen wonder, that. High nose. All right. You know, it's election day today. Not here, but a lot of places. And Boo was walking down the street, and he walked in front of Tib's house, and Tib was crying. He says, Boo, what's the matter? He says, oh. Boo says, Tib, what's the matter? He says, oh, Boo, it's my parents. Boo says, Tib, your parents have been dead for 10 years. He says, I know. They were in town Saturday voting, and they didn't call. You know they got trouble in St. Martin Parish. That's it. And I can guarantee you they voted after 4 p.m. All right. Nice. Okay. Nothing. Okay. Now Sheena, she's in the dark. It will? Great, great. That's it. I'm sorry, say again? Which is whitefish, just made, you know, that stuff they use in sushi restaurants, but it was lobster flavored. All right, I'm gonna saute that. I like to add my salt at this point because it helps to masticate the vegetable, or that is to break it down. Mastication, that's what our big teeth in the back do, mash and break it down, okay? All right, there we go. All right, any questions about that? I'm gonna go ahead and pull the asparagus out of the oven. All right. All right. There's the asparagus. Nice. Still a nice al dente. Okay. Cut up my lobster. Oh my gosh. Okay. Here's the thing I did with the popovers. It says to turn the pan 180 degrees. Don't bake them at 180 degrees. So. Right. No, it says turn. It doesn't say turn down. Right, and then turn the pan. Poo-yai. I'm leaving. It's good to see you, Sheena. Poo-yai. It'll be fine if you were cooking at church.
Well, did you do something? Was it a dessert or something? And it messed up.
Yeah, it was the cookies, and the recipe said 1/3 of a cup instead of a cup and 2/3. That's it.
But it was good.
And we're on live TV. The good news is my hair looks great. What am I making? Another faux pas? I am so bummed. We had the wedge salad. We had the asparagus. I'm done here. I don't care if I ever eat again.
The asparagus came out good.
Yeah.
And the wedge.
The wedge. The wedge. Okay, prepare the stuff by melting butter, add shallots and garlic, cook over medium steam oven until caramelized. Well, that would mean they're kind of a little brown, huh? They're getting there. Okay, add tomato paste and continue cooking until tomato paste caramelizes as well. Okay, here we go. I use the tomato paste in the tube. So you know how many times you use a half a can of tomato paste and you throw away you keep it, and then the algae wins and you have to throw it away. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add 1/3 of a cup of that. Oh, I can't believe I did that.
Okay, but in your defense, Carlos,
I am miserable.
turn pan.
Turn pan. Does it say turn pan?
No. It should
Okay.
say turn pan.
All right. Crazy. Aggravating. All right. You know, there's a big discussion with all Sicilians whether or not you brown your paste when you're making your tomato gravy, whether you brown it or not brown it. So this is what we're browning the paste tonight. It says it's caramelizing it. So what happens was when it heats up and it begins to release the oil from that. So we're gonna give that a little more heat. Yeah, they were more than perfect. They were perfect. Anyway, here's a good rule of recovery from that. Whenever it says bake for 35 minutes, set your timer for 1/3 of that time and check it. Like one time I was making a cake on a demo and I grabbed the powdered sugar and not the flour. So when I looked at 7 minutes on the cake, it was foaming over the edge of the pan and you know, a huge mess. And you know, I'm a trained professional, and so I had to figure out what to do. First off, I abandoned whatever was in those pans, but I realized that there was a problem. I'm just going to leave these in the oven until I'm done with the, God knows they won't overcook. Oh, shucks. Anyway, I'm doing that. So I'm just letting this caramelize. You want it to get to the place where it's not lost its shape. You know, it's kind of, go ahead and strain this, my lobster stock. All right. caramelizing the tomatoes here. All right. Add sherry. In AA, they says our life is unmanageable. It's probably the alcohol. So I'm just gonna add some sherry. Extra sherry. There we go. Combine that. Just kind of let that, you know, when you bring a little more heat up on it so that all that kind of evaporates. Makes my sauce a little, doesn't it smell pretty? All right. I'm gonna add a little bit of this. All right, and I'm gonna bring my heat way up. I'm gonna bring some real heat. Oh. Actually, they're making a comeback, so I feel better. Any questions about the lobster sauce so far? It's kind of like we stopped baking them, almost. Oh, what kind of nonsense is that? 180 degrees. Why didn't you people catch that? Huh? Well, you know, because they get to a point where they get really hard on the outside, and then sometimes if you lower the heat, you won't get them as hard on the outside so the inside can finish cooking. That made some sense, but not enough to ruin my entire meal when I had company over. What? The recipe was right. Yeah, absolutely. Turn 180 degrees. It doesn't say turn the oven. You're absolutely correct. That's why hindsight is 20/20. Anything else you want to say? Huh? You're doing just fine, okay?
Turn pan.
What? Turn pan.
Yes. There you go.
Please edit your recipe to say turn pan. Thank you.
Not your stove.
Do I heat but I put the lobster first and then the cream? Cream first. Warm, yeah, okay. Put a little red pepper in there. Remember, we already put salt when we were sauteing the vegetables. Ooh. Nice, very nice. Very, very nice. Go ahead and turn my fire off and add my heavy cream. Cool. It's going to be the color of our crawfish dip. Yummy. Okay, like that. Bon. Let the heat off of that and let it rest a minute. I'll check on those damn turnovers. Not too bad. Now my idea is that I'm gonna put the popover in here and serve it like that so you'll be able to just pick it up and eat it like an ice cream cone with the lobster sauce in it. That's my idea. Nothing's worked out tonight, so anyway, so, you know, anything could happen.
Especially when it's filming.
I can assure you if I drank, I'd have sherry. Lots of sherry. Like in a jelly glass. A jelly jar. All right. Any questions about the cream sauce or the lobster sauce? You like that? That looks pretty, doesn't it? I like my parsley kind of coarse.
One of the things like Washington State law today is to labeling of genetically altered foods.
Oh, good.
My daughter is very much in favor of that.
Now, how would they do it? But they would just say that it was made from a genetic seed,
Well, they would have to label that it was genetically altered.
as opposed to organic.
Yeah.
So
Genetic meaning they've changed the.
Yeah.
altered the
Yeah.
right, exactly,
They've altered the seeds.
correct.
Yeah.
And they don't let them use their own seed. They have to buy fresh seed every year.
The vote is to require them to label that it is genetically altered.
Oh, okay. Hello. Okay. They don't look too bad. Huh? So, you can see how they pop up and make that. See the little thing? So I'm just going to put it in the cup like that. And I'm just going to put that on the top like that. And put that in there like that. Break through that cheese. Lobster in there. All right.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Dessert popovers.
Uh-huh.
You use this and what?
Y'all like the sauce? Now, if we wanted to thicken it, if we wanted it to really have a glaze-like thing, we could put it, the cornstarch, cold water and cornstarch in there and thicken it like we wanted. But with the bread, did anybody have much of a drip problem? Because it really absorbed it and it really wasn't, so it worked out okay. All right, well, that's all we have for tonight. I'm grateful for a recovery.